just when you're about to open the microphone, just when you're about to launch the camera, the next thing that I see is that I'm trying to sneeze. Like, okay, why didn't I feel like sneezing earlier? Eh? Village people.
Okay, your cafe is causing a disturbance with the microphone. Thank you.
Village people, studio people, all of them hating on us. But it's all right. No problem. And yes, sorry, that's not what the program is about. This is the Boom Bar on your Boom Radio NG. It is a bar where we kick back, relax. I have the drinks. She refused to bring her own drinks for whatever reason is best known to
People
her.
just take me like that today because as you are looking at me, it's the grace of the Lord.
Okay,
Not
so
like it's not the grace of the Lord all these days.
okay.
But today, there is a special grace of God needed to be here.
Yeah, so everybody needs this grace. But this grace, so I didn't say disgrace, because there are two different things. But actually today at the bar, like I said, we have the drinks. We are in the building. Now, there's a whole lot of stuff to talk about. From politics, yesterday we're talking about who was going to declare today and is declared, who might declare, who did not declare,
who has bought form, who is going to buy form,
so,
who people that are supposed to resign and did not resign.
All of the political gist as it concerns Nigeria. We're talking about that today in a few seconds. We're definitely going to be taking a look at other stories around court issues and criminal-minded politicians.
Oh yeah, speaking of court issues, I saw something that popped up. I think it's something that we should.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about it, and this and that. So don't go anywhere. It's going to be an interesting 1 hour. I say so.
Okay. All right. So, my name is Olajolupo. For people that did not want to introduce us, I'm Olajolupo. The one and only. See payment is paying some people. It's paying some people. So anyway, let's dive right into it. And we're starting today with politics. We know that for the next few weeks or months, there's going to be a lot of politics, basically, because the general elections, specifically the presidential and most governorship elections in Nigeria is going to happen next month. Major elections, governorship elections, the National Assembly elections, the State House of Assembly elections, they're all they're mostly going to happen next year, and in the next few weeks, primaries and congresses and are going to happening. So this next few weeks are really very critical to Nigeria's political space as a whole.
Yes, especially as it concerns the two biggest parties, the PDP and the APC, and of course all the other parties.
That's what I was going to say. That because there's a time frame for INEC that
you need to get all of those things sorted. All the positions must be filled, if you can fill them. So people are conducting surveys online. Things are happening online and all of that. But there's something I wanted to say about that. But before we say that, the top things that we wanted to tell you guys, we're starting from the APC's presidential list.
Yeah.
The people who have actually, because you see, we need to separate the wheat from the chaff. We need to separate the noise, from the music. A lot of people, they're declared. You have not declared until you bought the form. So we want to give you a full rundown.
Some people might have bought the form now. It doesn't mean that they've declared now. Or some people might have declared and not bought the form.
You're not ready in here.
There's a whole so the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is not ready.
Why has he not bought the form?
It's still like May 6th.
Is still they collect a job? He's collecting a job or offering
100 million. Which I thought that it was a lot of money. I had a conversation with someone yesterday evening, and I was like, 100 million. That does this your candidates have 100 million?
He won't spend 1 naira.
I say, and then your head was for a two-time governor. Are you joking? Move on.
If you even want to do it, okay. If there's a way you want to look at it, you'll be shocked at how some of these guys will not spend a kobo
of their money
to buy this 100 million naira form. But so we're going to take a look at that. But my opinion is that if you've not bought the form, you are still playing. But I have a lot of things to say about that when we really dive right into it. I know Dolupo will first give us a list Then again, the other thing is about who bought the car for who. Did he buy
Who
the car?
did not buy a car for what?
Who? Was it
And
because
then
of?
there's a report that came out. I don't know if you saw it about this. Was talking about this. What we'll be talking about is on the APC side. On the PDP side, there's a little bit of drama also coming up with PDP governors and former president
Who should be
running mates. Do you understand? Like there's a lot
Why
of
should
drama.
he or should he not be?
Why should he?
Who was he? Couldn't he? Shouldn't
he? Wouldn't
he? Wouldn't we?
Shan't he?
Shouldn't we?
So anyway, let's stop beating around the bush, yeah? And let's even start. We're taking a look at the list of Nigerians who have... We're taking it from the APC, the people that have put out an interest or declared that, or going to declare that they're going to be president. And take it from me, it's not, I think why the APC's own is really, other than the fact that they're the ruling party at the moment, the cost of their form is taking people by, what's the word now? He's giving some people heart attack, and then you're helping them calculate, because as I mentioned in the so it's be calculating the number of 100 millions that are going to be coming in, because it's a lot, and I think the All Progressive Congress is going to make a fortune. Like when they say you are going to make a fortune from this is officially a fortune. So basically, we know that the forms are 100 million naira, and let's even start from a few people that have bought the forms. We know that national leader of the APC, former governor of Lagos State, Bola Tinubu, has gotten his own form. We also know that Kogi State governor, he was the first person to pay. He had just not gotten the form, but he was actually the very first person to pay. Is 100 million naira.
That's Yaya Bello.
Yaya Bello. The Ebonyi State governor, Dave Umahi, has also bought his own form. 100 million naira. Minister of State, who was the first person to get the form. He wasn't the first to pay, but the first person to get for education. Emeka Nwajuba has also gotten the form. Now, there's a list of about 6 people. I don't know 2 other people that have gotten the form, but according to the APC, 6 people have already bought these forms. Now, let's move on to people that have declared, like officially declared, but they haven't bought the forms yet. We don't know. There's talks about how some people will get the forms today. There's talks about how people get the forms tomorrow. And, they still have till Friday, so anything is possible. Other aspirants that have officially declared, we know, is Vice President Fayemi Osinbajo, who's in Kano at the moment. Yeah, I think he's in Kano.
For the Doba.
So,
amongst other things,
yeah. The Vice President Fayemi Osinbajo has declared, like, it was day. Remember the day he declared, we all woke up to the message, like it was like 7 a.m. It was everywhere, which I think I like the concept though. There was no event around it, nothing. It was just, you wake up in the morning and kaboom in your face. Then, the Minister of Niger Delta, Godswill Akpabio, it's very interesting how the Buhari cabinet, there's a lot of ministers that feel that maybe it's coming from the angle that they feel that because they're ministers, they deserve or they have what it takes to be president.
You want me to react to that? Mm-hmm. So this is it. When a president, your principal is not returning by law or by need or whatever, he has no plans to go back. It's an open field.
It's a free for all.
It's an open field. So everybody is like, yeah, I can get it. Again, especially when there's a power sharing formula in place. Mm-hmm. Unwritten in the case of the APC, written in the case of the PDP. It makes it easier for a lot of people from the south or southern part of Nigeria who know that that's where power should shift to. So say, look, I think I'm in with a shout. Again, it must be that President Buhari has told all of them, go and run. I'm not going to stop anybody.
Because right now,
I'm not going to prevent anybody.
if we actually
and I am not going to endorse anybody.
The Minister for State for Education has even already bought his form. There's the Minister for Niger Delta, Godswill Akpabio. There is the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, in the run. There's also the Minister of what's his name? Sorry, I seem to have forgotten, but I'll get back to it. Minister of Labour, Dr. Chris Ngige, is already in this mix, and a few other ministers who want to be governor. Or I even heard one gist yesterday that one minister wants to be senator. And also, like, everybody seems to have
even one of the president's aides, media aides, is gone in for, I think, a senatorial or House of Rep seat.
Yeah. So it seems like everybody is, like you said, it seems to be like a free for all thing. Also, former governor of Ogun State is said that he's supposed to
seven senator
Ibukule Amosun is also
he has already announced it.
He's announced it today. The chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, the governor of the outgoing governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, had officially, even though he has not bought form 2, but you can't have all that event and not buy form, happy. So also this person, which I didn't even know this person was in the mix at all. I don't even know. Former House of Representative Speaker Dimeji Bankole, why do you have that look? You have a look that is not nice.
The world can see me.
No, they did not see your look.
You can see this.
Immediately I mentioned that name, you had this blank look like, what?
Well, your interpretation.
No, I know what I saw.
Okay, let me say what I always say. Let me suck belly, make sure it finds itself first. I woke up, I can hold it for 30 seconds. So guess what? Dimeji Bankole is of age. He has experience as a former Speaker of the House. He's a politician. And he probably can afford 100 million naira nomination form. Or his friends can. So, hey, why can't he? You've forgotten that yesterday we talked about Ashim Olawepo.
Oh, yeah, he's in the list as well that have declared. Rochas Okorocha, we know, 7 senator.
Imo, 7 senator.
Usman Iwu is also in this list. Ikechukwu Dallas Chima, never heard of this person before.
All of this is APC.
All of this, yes, the APC as well. Tain Jack Rich is also there. Adamu Garba, which we're not sure of Adamu Garba, because I know that he was
trying to raise money.
He was going on about it, and then in minutes they said it was 100 million. Remember his tweets? Wow.
Yeah. So guess what? A quick one about Adamu Garba. He took to Twitter to say, "Oh, man, guys, I'm trying to raise funds." He wants to crowdfund his nomination. And a lot of people do not like Adamu Garba on Twitter, especially people who he had gone head-to-head with during the NSAS period, and this lasted over a year. So people started sending him peanuts, like 1 naira,
2 naira, and I saw that thing. I have a question.
I think it was a dumb thing.
I have a question. At least I don't know about other banks. At least the least I know that if you're not using the same bank, even if you're using the same bank, I think it's 10 naira or something they take off your account.
Yeah. So. That shows how.
So I'm going to use 10 naira to send 2 naira to someone just to make a point.
Yeah, it shows how much people don't care. Like, we don't care if we're going to lose 10 naira to send 2 naira, but we're making a point that we don't support him. But what they also don't get is that it's still
you're
a plus.
all adding up to his money, yeah.
You'll just be shocked one day that he will tell you that from all the 8 money that he got is totaled up to some millions.
Like some millions of
That's
naira.
how many.
Yeah,
as how many people who hate him, the amount of people who don't like Adamu Garba on Twitter, you get.
I agree with you. You're adding to it, whether you like it or not.
You know, so I don't think it's something that they should have done, but they were making a point that they don't like him and they're not going to support him. On his own part, I'm thinking, why are you trying to crowdfund a form, and especially to a public that don't really care about you?
Why don't maybe you should go down to again, maybe like a House of Reps?
Social media, as much as we all benefit from it now. We all thrive on it and live in these apps from time to time. It is still overrated.
Oh yeah,
Especially in the context of Nigerian politics.
elections. I don't even think it's just Nigeria. I think elections all over the world.
Let me limit it to the Nigeria that I know. And this is one of the reasons why I'm saying it's overrated. The total number of Twitter users in Nigeria, total number of active Twitter users, last time we checked was...
I think it was about 5 million, 3 million or 5 million. Let's even say 10 million.
Okay, so we double it and say 10 million. You get. Then add all the other social media platforms. Active social media people, about 20 million in Nigeria. In a country... Don't
even say Nigeria, because there are a lot of Nigerians on that app that don't live in Nigeria.
Diaspora.
There's a large chunk of those also on the same app.
Yeah. So thank you for that addition. So all of this points to what I'm trying to say about how overrated social media is. Now, I'm not saying, because people like to take things out of context, and they will come and say, oh, I said social media is overrated, and they will end it there. So don't end it there. Listen to what I'm saying. In the context of Nigerian politics, social media is overrated. And why am I saying that? There were over 90 million registered voters on INEC's list the last elections, right?
Yeah.
The last general elections, which was over 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
And of that 90 million, they are telling us that there are we said we'll do 10 million active.
According
active.
to...
Active.
I have a question.
Okay.
With what you said, yeah?
All right.
No, I just want to...
No, please go ahead.
You're continuing what you say.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to put something out.
Yes, please.
Remember when the APC had come out to say that they were doing some counting and
membership. Their membership drive.
I thought they said they had about 40-something million.
About 42 million registered card-carrying members
assume
of the APC.
The 10 million people...
According to the APC.
The 10 million people on social media. Everybody, which we know is not everybody, because a lot of people don't have PVCs, a lot of people don't live in Nigeria, we don't have diaspora voting, all those things. But let's assume everybody there tends to vote. Let's say 10 million 10 million Twitter users. And APC card carrying members vote for just APC, and there's just them, yeah?
Yeah.
Hasn't that already negated anything that has been done on social media, whatever polls that happened on social media?
Exactly. That happens all the time. So you see, a lot of people misconstrue things. Even when you look at the statistics of trending hashtags or topics, you will see that a certain tweet is at number 1 on your own timeline, and it has only 4,000 tweets.
Yeah.
Only 4,000. And of the 4,000, it's not as if everybody...
A lot of people are just using the hashtag.
Some people are using it to promote
something.
Their beauty line and all of that. So in reality and in brass tacks, how much of an influence is it going to have on the numbers that you need?
And this is the problem that happens with us a lot. Yeah.
So a lot of young people are making that mistake.
Exactly, yeah. And that's
and
what the old
a lot
people
of candidates,
have.
older candidates, are also deceiving themselves. Delusions of grandeur.
Remember the presidential candidate in 2015, was it 2015 or 2019, that said that he had some number of followers.
He said he had 5
Facebook
million
followers, and he had
across all his social media platforms. That man did not get up to 10,000 votes.
Please don't even let us begin. Let me start opening their bubble.
So, in the context of Nigerian politics, social media is important, but it is overrated.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is to get those 5 or 10 million people who are of voting age, 18 and above, to go and... It's closing in 90 days or less. Go and get your PVC, then support your candidate with your full chest. Now, a lot of people are rallying around different candidates now. And they are just finding out for the first time that they are useless to their candidates. I use the word loosely. Ask me why.
I would say a lot of people have not even found out.
That they are useless.
That they are
So
useless
let me
at the
address
moment.
the ones that know that they are useless. Can I address them?
Okay, please go ahead.
You are useless to your candidate. Why are you useless to your candidate?
You're not a delegate.
You cannot influence what he needs in his party at the moment.
Because your candidate might not even get the ticket.
He might not even be the flag bearer. What are you going to do? So this is why when we've been saying it
let's be coming
on
down.
this table, go and join a political party. Forget that you don't like APC. Forget that you don't like PDP. You can use them. I've said it a million times. We said it here. Imagine if after NSAS, that energy and that verve
was used to
a lot of young
into
people,
those parties.
They don't like APC, right? They just all went into PDP. Imagine the number of delegates that they can influence. People are rooting for Peter Obi a lot on social media. People are rooting. Atiku still has his supporters.
Oh yeah.
Tabuwal has his supporters. Wike has his own supporters. I go through these people's timelines. I see the hashtags, and I'm like, they still have a large chunk. But in real terms, how many of these influencers, how many of these supporters
are really going to translate into anything?
Can become delegates? Break it further down. The APC has about 8,000 delegates, close to 8,000, 7,000 something. 4,000 plus of that is from the north. 3,000 plus is from the south. Break it further down into 6 geopolitical zones. Then you find out that the south-south and the southeast in the APC will be producing less than 900 delegates each from their political zones. The southwest is producing...
At that point, they're already at a disadvantage.
The southwest is producing 1,500 and something. The northwest has more. Sure you get than everybody else of the 6 geopolitical zones. So all of these calculations start to ring in your head, and you're saying, "Oh,
but what you said now, how many people even have that information?" And the part that saddens me is the older people that you do not like have this information.
They know it.
They know this information.
They've known it for years.
They because why? They're in the system. So they use the system you don't know to work for them. But unfortunately, you don't know, so you don't even know how you're going to work with it.
I see a lot of social media campaigners being disappointed in 3 weeks' time because their candidates will not get it. Their candidates with the S, I'm not singling out one, because at the end of the day, the PDP will pick only one person.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the day, the APC will pick only one person. The AAC, APC, ANC, ACN, ANDP, AAA, all of them, NNDP, they will pick only one. So what's going to happen?
Except the party that you're supporting already has just one candidate. If not, I don't see how it's going to work. So, also, it's very interesting. Another person that tweeted yesterday was supposed to be the aide of the Senate president. I said the Senate president had succumbed to pressure. They're always succumbing to pressure.
And he's now going to contest.
And he's contesting. He's supposed to pick his form today as well. The person you mentioned earlier,
he was denying yesterday.
Olawekpo Hashem, as he said, to pick up his own ticket as well today at the party secretariat.
Another theory that I have. Now, this one is beer apologist. Don't worry. I just want to do beer apologist. If you don't like it, do your own. Beer apologist.
Is that?
I think they must investigate APC.
Why?
This is a way of sponsoring their campaign.
To be honest, I think so. It's a very weird thinking. People might not agree. It might not be true. But I also feel, why I agree with you. I feel that is a way of legitimately or
fundraising.
Legitimately. Do I feel that some of these candidates have no plans? Like absolutely no plans to be president.
You get it.
I agree with you.
If you don't get it, forget it.
I feel some of them have, because when you hear some things, and I'm like, seriously.
So guess what? We're on the same page.
Yeah.
And this is why we're saying it. So let me continue, because you see we're on the same page. Guess it. Look at it. That is 7,000 plus delegates in Ogun State. The current vice president of Nigeria is contesting. In the same Ogun State, a two-time governor and serving senator is contesting. In Ogun State, of the 1,500 delegates that will go to Abuja or wherever they decide.
That's 6 states from 6 whole states.
Let's assume that Ogun has 500. Let me dodge them. Let me just be. We were magnanimous. Remember that we were magnanimous with Twitter. We did not argue.
There's Lagos, so there's Oyo State in this 6 mix.
This is the problem that I have with you. When you came up with 10 million for Twitter, I argue.
I'm just saying.
It's for discussion purpose now.
Let's be a bit realistic with our
I am dashing Ogun State 500. Okay. Is my 500? Is it your 500?
Okay, sorry, don't be offended.
500 delegates from Ogun. Fictitious, so don't take me out of context. But I don't care if you do self. Now you sabi. So 500. Of this 500, our VP will at least get 250 now. Then the former governor will take 250. Abi? So, in which other state is the former governor of Ogun State going to get that number across? It's obvious that he will only get it in his base and maybe some neighboring states.
Some very tiny numbers.
So you know that you are not going to get
I
majority.
feel that some people actually know
they
from
know now.
day one.
They know now.
It's just a way to help the party so that the party, when they start spending money, where did you get the money from?
It's the form that we sold now.
20 forms,
that's already 2 billion.
That's already 2 billion. We're not even
thinking about is there.
The governorship forms, which is about 50 million naira.
Times how many? In some states, there will be 2 or 3 people buying.
Yes, now. Take, for example, in
Lagos now,
they cannot make money.
There'll be 2.
Who's the other person that's bought?
Ambo.
Anyway,
there will most likely be 2 candidates in Lagos. So they will make like 100 million from Lagos. Then the 100 million from the presidential candidate. So in Lagos alone, from governorship and presidential, APC will make like 200 million.
Yeah. If we go from every state, senators, and a lot of other
3
states,
senators per state.
A lot of what's it called? A lot of other states
and some states they have more than
3, 4, 5 people that want to be governor at the same
To
time.
be
senator. Oyo State, they don't even know what's doing them in that Oyo State. A lot of people. So
the governorship candidate in Oyo, the last time I checked, there were 5. 50 million.
And then look for senators, House of Reps members, House of Assembly members. If APC does not make like at least 5 to 10 billion,
it's expensive.
In this matter, is an expensive matter.
Yes.
At least, okay, let's even look at 50 million in at least, let's say 2 per state. Let's just leave it at 2 per state. That's 100 million from each state, 36 states. That's 300. No. What do you mean? 3.6 billion naira. And that's being conservative. 3.6 billion naira. See, I'm sure we're not going to go and join APC school like this.
It's too late. They have done election.
But
it's too late.
So I honestly feel that a lot of the price of these forms from the presidential is really just a way to drive. It's just the drive to get money.
I don't money. Yes. Before you were saying they want to chase. They are not chasing. If they are chasing people, they won't have almost 20
I was
people.
thinking about they were chasing people, but with the number of people that are coming out to want to be president and governor, they are not chasing people. Like I said, everybody I had said like last week or 2 weeks ago that everybody that wanted to be president and probably governor was at their NEC meeting where they agreed to it. So they all agreed to the 100 million naira.
Even if you don't agree, the people that agree have agreed.
I've agreed.
So you must agree, or else go and start your own party or join another party.
Unfortunately, it's too late to start your own party.
It's not too late to join another party.
No, it's not too late to join another party, but it's too late.
Because a lot of these parties will be waiting now for people who will be angry and say,
a lot of aggrieved people. Oh yeah. So really, I think I changed my mind of the fact that they're trying to chase people away. It looks like they are trying to raise funds for the coming elections.
It's
a fundraising venture. They just don't want to say we are raising funds for 2023 elections. So because let's be honest. See
100 million.
PDP price is exorbitant.
Very, very.
But 40 million is a far cry from 100 million. It's a lot of money in between. 60 million naira, 60 is a lot of money. Anyway, moving from the APC, because as you know, as people are buying forms, we'll be bringing.
We can't move from APC without finishing. Let's talk Malami's matter and move on. We only mentioned it in the intro.
Okay. It's not the one. That's another minister that he wants to be
governor.
He wants to be governor.
No, you see, the people.
He's staying in his lane.
Then the people called him. You see?
Okay, you know he has never been governor. These ministers that want to be governor. You know, Governor Ayade too wants to be president too. That's true.
You've forgotten him.
You not mention
Shame on
his
you.
name. He wanted to be. He too wants
He's
to be
still
president.
contesting.
So Isu is paying 100 million. Okay,
the only person that has dropped out is Odiuzo or Kalu.
That did not have that 100 million.
The man has money, just didn't want to waste it. Like,
He's not agree. He's an Igbo man.
Correct businessman.
Igbo man. It's not a good. It's not a good business venture. I think that I agree with him. Anyway, so the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Malami, there's a story which I'm still going to go back to the conversation of. Isn't there a conversation that they should have resigned?
We are still there, and this is the Attorney General that is the custodian of the law.
I'm like, okay, so how do they want to play this when it comes to
we will see how they want to do the magic now.
Because at this point, I'm not sure I'm understanding anymore. But anyway, there were a few days ago, someone had posted pictures of Malami distributing cards to said APC delegates in a state. And now he has finally come out to say that he owns 2 foundations and it was cards that were meant for the purpose of the foundation and they are not card-carrying members of the APC or delegates. Now, for me, can we know the names of the people that were giving those cards?
Well, he went further to say that people should, that the information on the list of delegates from, that's Kebbi State, right?
Yeah.
Is out there at the APC headquarters and you can actually call for it. That people should go and check that none of the people who got cars are delegates. That there are people who have worked with the 2 foundations that he created a couple of years ago, and they've been working in the area of poverty alleviation and everything. So that's what is done. It's just basically him and the sponsors of those the foundations who have decided to bless people who have worked with them through the years. So we'll definitely see how true that is, because these days truth and lies have ways of just popping out. Yeah, I know somebody somewhere will definitely dig those things out and will definitely come back with more gist if there's more gist on that matter. Yeah, so we have talked about Governor Fayemi's declaration, but we still staying with political issues, although this is related to the court. There's a story out of America. We mentioned this when it broke a few months ago, and there's an update to this person, and it's related to, of course, I don't mean blood relations, but this story is linked to the current governor of
Ogun State. Oh yeah, his aide. This person was, I think, a special advisor.
Abidemi Rufai.
And it is said that this person has officially pleaded guilty to fraud in the U.S. And for Mr. Dapo Abiodun's sake, I hope that he has no business relations and all to this particular person, because remember this person was even gearing up to, I think, go for House of Reps or Senate or something.
Yeah, he was going to contest. He was going to contest, and you be like, oh no, he's a political detractor. But now, same person has actually
$2 million. They're saying that there's about almost more than $2 million in this whole mix.
So all they need to do is go abroad, commit a crime, come back home,
spend a few dollars,
and become politicians. Yeah. And everybody's falling head over heels in love with them.
Does it if it mean? Ajay used to do that thing.
Fraud is fitting you.
No, the politician matter. Ajay used to do this, their post.
Different picture now. This one you do one
with
like
this.
We blow like this. Like
you used to put like this. Yeah.
Then there's another one that you turn your back. You turn
like
your
this.
back on the people. But you see, when you see politicians doing this post, you people don't understand. They're already telling you they will turn their back on you.
Or you see some, they do like this. They do like this, you
upper
know.
upper wood,
or
two
like
nation.
God. They do all sorts of things. Oh
And
my
they
God.
must all wear the dressing of 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria.
Let's not deceive
That one means they sabi work. That one means they go sabi govern. Oga, sit down, we will talk the real matter.
You know, it's a very, very sad one that a Nigerian politician, because it's obvious he wasn't just an appointee. You know, if he was a technocrat, yeah, that someone that was just like he's obvious that he is a politician. So it also now it sheds light on a lot of our politicians. People that maybe they've lived abroad or they lived wherever, or even people in Nigeria, and all of a sudden they're in politics, and you see it a lot. You see someone that nobody knows nowhere just comes and starts spending money anyhow, and you're like, oh nah. It almost makes you that you are on the straight and narrow. You are making it feel like that you're a very lazy somebody.
That you're narrow, you pack well now.
In fact, that's narrow self. That's your narrow road self. They will come and push you off the road if you are not.
Happen now.
If you are not careful. So at the end of the day, as much as we know that politics, let's be honest, all over the world, politics is based a lot on money. We should also, it won't really hurt, do a little bit of background check on the people that we're voting for, or the people that we're putting in places, because it's not just about whether they're going to steal your money or not. It's also Nigeria's image.
Yeah, it's a lot of things.
It's a lot.
It's the image, it's the corruption. Then again, it's also the incompetence. You know, look. I agree. The person that put him there, what happened? I thought that they always do like DSS checks and all that for people. And then those things are submitted to the houses of assembly. And the House of Assembly are supposed to carry out their own checks as well. And it's at times you're like, do they even do any of these things? Or they're just really rubber stamp, as a lot of people assume they are? Yeah, because that's what happens at the end of the day. Some of these political appointees, they don't go through any form of screening. You know? At times,
they just get there, they say, take
picking someone you trust. No, they're political appointees. They're not even commissioners. They don't even go to the house.
Oh, yeah.
It's a political appointee.
Commissioners.
It's commissioners that need to go through that process. Or ministers. But this is a guy that you just be like, okay, you can create,
you can create anything. Yeah,
with
that's
your
true.
executive powers, you can create any position and put anybody there. That's what's up. And what we're saying is, if the governor or the president is serious about serving the people, you will play politics, but you will be more concerned about governance. That if they are telling you, because we supported you,
this person has to be part of
you're going to get a slot to bring 2 special advisors. Make sure that they are actually
the 2 people they bring.
They're sound.
Yeah, there's no problem with giving people to maybe.
It's politics. You can
politics.
Allocate things.
You allocate things, but at least let the people that is brought to you, let them help you, because even though Governor Dakwabedu may not have any form of relations with this person other than being his aide, which he said that it's possible that somebody somewhere just brought
they could have brought it to the governor
to appoint
and said, look,
like, okay, I helped you this.
Governor,
this was a promise you made to me. Exactly. Do you understand? Which is very possible. It happens all over the world. And the governor will
be like, you know what? Based on your recommendation,
is fine. But also where the governor and his team might have done themselves a disservice, because now it's themselves, is that a little background check on everything. Okay,
the current
you
governor,
as a person, you already have a slot. So the slot is not the problem. It now depends on who
are you bringing.
And the minute they know that you would vet people. They themselves will do their own homework.
The current governor of Lagos, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, His Excellency, joined the Lagos system from the bank. He came in as that position, SA or whatever, SSA or whatever. About 20 years after, or 16
he becomes
years,
the governor.
He's the governor.
For him to have risen that much, it means that somebody somewhere, at least his slate is to a large extent clean. Or somebody has not found anything.
The current chief of staff, Akim Moriokola, that's his position, right? Or
head of service.
HMO. Go and check. Lawyer, worked in a law firm, then joined a Lagos State Parastate company, Ibile Holdings, and look at how he has grown through the ranks. Became PA to the Governor Tinubu. Worked in different ministries under Governor Fashola. Was posted to some funny places under Ambode. Is back as head of service. So in a few years' time, when you hear that he's contesting to be governor, you only was it not just no. He has gone through the ranks.
And at least there's a level of you already know this
and
person.
Been vetted
and it's been vetted every time.
He gets that position,
let's just not all in the name of politics and all
and money.
Because even if you would just look at it from the angle of this would almost always be a stain on the Governor Dakwa Abiodun.
Yes. Even if Governor Dakwa Abiodun is clean, people would say you brought this fraudster in.
How are we sure that everybody else?
He most likely just was fulfilling
a promise quota to somebody. Yes, I agree. I agree with you. It's a very.
So let's not always play politics with governance. We know that you guys have to strike a balance. I understand. I'm not going to be one of those funny critics that talks without understanding the inner workings of the system. I'm not saying I know it all, but we have an idea. We have an inkling
of how these things work.
What we're saying is that you should learn how to balance it in a way that they don't come and do this to you, especially in an election year.
You don't want all that
because
in an election.
If I am in the opposition,
I will keep playing it up. You play it up so much. Yes, I agree.
I will play it up.
Yes.
You actually appointed this person.
This person. It's a lot on your incompetence. It shows a lot about your competence. It calls your competence to question. So basically, talking about things and still talking about politics. Wow, our time is really fast spent. Finally, before we go, there's gist. It's still gist. Yeah, it's not confirmed yet. But there's some reports that the PDP, a lot of PDP governors are against the fact that former Vice President Abubakar Atiku, who also wants to be president now, wants to use his former running mate, Peter Obi, as his current running mate. But I have a question. I thought Peter Obi wanted to be president.
Yeah, maybe.
So why is he? So he's hoping that if he loses the ticket, he can be.
Maybe. Look, there'll be many maybes, and let's run through the maybes. Maybe Atiku and Obi are playing with us. Maybe both of them are like, you see, Peter, this is what we're going to do.
If you win, I will.
You get.
If I win,
you run like this, I'll run like that. But because I have a very strong feeling that Abubakar Atiku will get the PDP ticket.
I think so too.
I have a very strong feeling.
I don't like the idea of him getting the PDP ticket, but to be honest with you, I think so.
Dolupo, I'm glad we feel the same way. Even if you don't feel the way I feel, it's fine. But I'm actually glad we do, because one of the pointers to this is that the PDP arguably is the only party in Nigeria, I don't know about the other constitutions, but it is actually written in the constitution of the PDP that there is a power sharing formula between the North and the South. And it is in a time where the North has ruled for 8 years that PDP is still saying that everybody can contest and they should forget about zoning. Are you kidding me right now? The man told them now that he has the right of first refusal. The same terminology we use in football. Football transfer stories. Nobody should tell him that he can't contest.
He can't contest. Okay.
So,
And you know, like him or not, it's I think that out of all the presidential candidates in the PDP, he probably has the best structures. So, would he probably get the ticket? Maybe. But does he have a higher stake in it? Oh, I think so. I don't know what's happening in PDP, but I think it would be him. So now PDP governors are saying that even if because what that sounds to me is like they know he's going to win the ticket. They just don't want Peter Obi to be his running mate. That's the way it sounds.
If the governors are having this kind of discussion, it's almost as if they are agreed that we're giving Atiku, but we're concerned about his running mate.
Yeah. It's a very interesting one. And before we finally leave, I just saw now that it looks like my governor.
We have plenty time.
My own governor. I said, yeah, before we move off politics, my own governor, the governor of the year, governor of the tenure, yeah, has officially accepted to contest for a second term.
He's going to run for governor.
Yeah.
That guy should be running for president. In my opinion, it's my opinion.
To be honest with you, I think that whoever wins the ticket, which most likely will be a southerner, because we know out of all APC presidential candidates, there's just only one northerner there, which shout out to you though. But anyway, so there is more chances of looking like it's a southerner that is going to win. I feel that
because it's funny how the APC is about to shoot themselves in the leg. If what we're hearing is true that they're not going to zone to the south anymore, it's a very dumb move on their part.
But if they're not,
it will make the party implode.
If
you have already chosen the chairman from the northern part, and everybody knows that once you get the chairman from the northern part, the president will come from the southern part.
They're not
but look at what the PDP has done. Look at what the PDP has done. The PDP is going against it too.
For me, if they're not zoning it,
will fail you.
Yeah, if they're not zoning it already, at the moment, maybe if other people come out. Okay, no, there are two people actually, because I think Olawepo Hashim is from Kwara State
North Central,
as well. It's from North Central. So there are only two candidates out of like almost 20 that are not from the South. So even if they don't zone it, it looks like the percentage of the South winning the ticket in the APC is more. I feel that if that happens,
but let me
I feel that a Governor Zulum is probably one of your best running mates you can ever have.
Let me throw spanners in the works for you already.
Yeah.
That also points to the fact that votes will be split.
That the fact that there is a lot of southern.
Look at it this way. There are 7,000 plus delegates from the PDP.
Mm-hmm.
Over 3,000 plus
APC.
In the APC. Sorry, over 3,000 plus from the southern part. The southern part has about 18 presidential candidates. They're splitting their votes now. So, it is left for them to now split all the votes, then go and jostle for the northern delegates.
Which,
and you know,
northerner would probably.
If the northern delegates block vote, in a scenario where all the southern delegates are splitting their votes, before you know it, Yaya Bello is the flag bearer.
Excuse me.
Or Hashim Olawepo. It will shock you. I had a result. It shock you, Abi.
Anyway, for whoever is going to win, hopefully if he's a southerner, I'm just saying, Doluko's opinion, I think that Governor Zulum is a fantastic, even though shout out to Borno people, yeah, I'm sure that they will find a replacement. But I think that Governor Zulum would be a fantastic running mate.
I beg, if that guy is not going for president, they should let him go back as governor. Let him go and complete what he has started in that state. That is, for me, in the last 3 years,
it's the best governor that we've had in this country, whether we like it or not.
Call it hype, call it anything.
I think is amazing.
Governor Zulum, you have an award from Boom Radio.
Boom Radio.
We see the good work you're doing.
It's the governor of the administration, not governor of the year, governor of the whole 4 years. Like, nobody beats it. So, I'm not from Borno State, but if it's possible to go and vote for you,
we'll go there, register and vote.
I will vote for you. Zulum for governor, Zulum for vice president, my dictionary. Anyway, moving off that, yeah, and There's a very interesting take that happened last week. That's something that now came out to that still is relevant with something that happened on Sunday, and it was the building collapse. Yeah, and there's an expert that talked about it last week. Sadly, a building actually collapsed, and it looks like what he said was right. And it was talking about how almost 95% of constructions that happen in Lagos State, especially, do not undergo soil tests before the buildings are constructed. And for people that do not know, the little that I know, I have read up about soil tests, is to determine the kind of sand that can be used, the kind of foundation that has to be done, the what is the topography of your of the site. All those things come into play with the durability of the building.
Yeah.
But when you do one size fits all, and we know that, take Lagos for example, there's almost no part of Lagos that is not waterlogged. Even the mainland that we call the mainland, like literally people have to fill, and they have rivers in lands. It's like that. Sadly, there's nothing anybody can do about it. It's Lagos. There's like, mention any part of Lagos that does not have water issues, and that in itself is already a major disadvantage. So basically, whatever he said
of a soil test,
yeah,
and all of that, and adding to that is the propensity to use substandard materials and cut corners by using lesser than you should. Like, they tell you need 600 bags of cement for a particular construction. You say, can't you use three?
And then
can you use
sand.
300? You know, and increase the sharp sand. Sharp sand is not concrete, though. Sharp sand is not cement. It's sad that lives have been lost and things have gone wrong, and many more lives might still be lost because people are still cutting corners. But the soil test should become a standard.
Yeah,
They should.
more like someone like a Lagos State. You make sure people actually submit like soil tests before you even give them an approval to start building. It should be one of the requirements. So you just don't build arbitrarily anymore. Really, I think that is really going to help on the long run. And moving all the way from Lagos, we're moving to another state in the south, and it's all the way to Bayelsa State. And it's a very interesting story. As a traditional ruler of Okwama community in Brass local government area of Bayelsa, King Emmanuel Ebitimi Banigo has sanctioned the raid on sports used by drug peddlers. He approved the flogging of boys indecently dressed in the community, also in order to bring sanity to the community. The community youths and chiefs, led by the chairman of the Chiefs Council, while carrying out the directives of the monarch, demolished 14 drug peddling points and seized illicit drugs suspected to be cannabis, popularly known as Indian hemp, benzos, cocaine, LSD, codeine, that were found in this sport.
Yeah, this story is from This Day newspapers, and shout out to them for covering this. You know, in Bayelsa, you get. So I'm torn. I love what the Amayanabo has done in its community. I love the fact that it was hailed by the general populace as trying to bring some sanity, you know, to their community. I am shocked and scared at the number: 14 different drug peddling sites
In its community.
14 different drug peddling sites. So there's no amount of as currently structured, the NDLEA cannot cover the entire country.
Oh yeah.
So there must be more efforts to collaborate with them. But I think this operation should be carried out with a bit of law enforcement.
Yeah, I
Like
agree
they
with
recognize law enforcement agencies.
you. Even if it's just for escorts and all that, so that you don't take laws into your hands.
and if something is about to go wrong, the law
The
enforcement,
law
guys
enforcement
are
can
trained,
just are trained
and they are
to
backed by law to respond. and
respond.
react.
For me, this I agree with the fact that one thing that we know, that when a lot of crimes are being committed, there's something that we always say, that these traditional rulers are the closest to the people, so they actually do know a lot of these things happening. And we also know that we have to really, when it comes to security and drugs and all those things, the security agents really need to work hand in hand with the people that
It's
are
important.
really like
very
ingrained in the place. That it's a very important thing. It's just that I hope that people don't take laws into their hands.
So guess what? You shut down these 14 drug peddling sites in your community. What I think will happen is that there will be a natural gravitation towards other communities that
Yeah.
have not done what you have done. So except we have this across board. 2, it only means that they'll probably go underground, because why? You know why? You don't have the cells to arrest them. Because it's not only to bust those sites. What you should do is these people should be arrested and documented and processed and judged. You know, and if they're guilty, they should pay, and if they're innocent, they should be let go. But in the scenario where you bust these people, they're just probably just going to walk
They'll
away.
move to another area. They're going to move to another area. So some of these things
or another state
needs to be carefully done, so that you're just not pushing them. It's not, you're not curbing it in the real sense of it. You're just pushing it to another place. Another very interesting story that I saw today is that Lagos State Domestic Violence and Sexual Offences Court, sitting in Ikeja today, has sentenced a 54-year-old pastor by the name of Michael Olise to life imprisonment for defiling his friend's 12-year-old twin daughters.
Well, I like to say kudos to the legal team and the judiciary for at least punishing someone like this. His friend's twins were violated. You violated your friend's twins, not 1, 2.
They're like,
But
kind of like your children.
I think those laws should be upgraded and synchronized with the law in Kaduna. Is Kaduna or Kano?
It's Kaduna that they castrate them.
Yeah, castration should be added.
But I think I like the fact that he's most likely not going to ever be around.
Yeah, but did they mention that it would not be like you will not
Up
be
for parole.
up for parole in a certain number of years?
I don't think so. But is there really stuff like that in Nigeria? I don't think we have laws like
You
that.
never can tell.
But I think people can be pardoned, actually, but depending on the
Didn't they just pardon 60-something people now?
90 people in Kano State.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the federal one that had 2 former
Oh
governors.
yeah. So it's
Did you get what I'm saying?
yeah. So
this kind of offenses should not be
should not be pardonable. Nothing
in
any form. And finally, before we go, it's almost time, but the world's richest man, who is supposed to also own Twitter at the moment, is now saying that companies and government officials and government bodies it's looking like we start paying for Twitter now.
Well, they already started Twitter Blue without him, and Twitter Blue is more about money. It's about income for the business, because Twitter is not just going to be all around. It's not been free for a long time, though. Some of us just enjoy it because we're just on the periphery, but a lot of people are paying for adverts and all other things that are happening on Twitter. So yeah, I also like the idea of making corporates and government pay. I actually do like it.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're getting a lot of stuff for free. So hey, that's no problem.
We'll definitely see how that goes.
But Mr. Elon,
let's be coming down.
no kind of rich here. Don't come this way.
Oh God! On that note, that is all we have to take today on the Boomba. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll definitely be back again tomorrow for another wonderful edition. But you could go back to our YouTube channel to watch this. It is Boom Radio NG. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, a nice comment though. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.